Bob Spenger, and I'm 81. And usually they want to know when you start rowing. I started rowing in 1932 in heavy skiffs on San Francisco Bay. And you start out, my mother didn't trust me on the boat, so I'd have to have it tied up with a long rope. So that's how I learned to row. And then about 1942, I started Berkeley and went out for crew there. So that was the first time I was on a sliding seat, a rolling seat. And I competed at various times in the 40s with time out for being in the Army during the war. Then from 1950 to almost 1990, I didn't have any rowing at all. And then I found out that there was clubs nearby, and I belonged one time to the Long Beach Rowing Association and to the Newport Aquatic Center in Southern California, and got back into doing some sweep rowing with them and learning how to scull. And then in '94, they had the beach sprints, so I thought, well, I'll give it a try on the erg. I had my own erg that I used for exercise at home.
What erg was that?
Oh, the B. I still have it.
Yeah?
I still have it. And I upgraded it to a PM3 last fall when Concept 2 provided all the development squad with PM3s. So I have a PM3 on the Model 2. And then at Beach Sprints this year, I decided to buy one of the Ds. So now I'm finally up to date.
Yeah?
I have a D at home as well as the B.
So do you race online, on Community?
No, I'm a Mac man. So my PM3 and my computer don't talk to one another. So yeah, it would be interesting to do, but I suppose I should try to pick up a cheap PC laptop to just for the erg, but I haven't gotten around to that.
Obviously, the sport does something for you. So, and exercising as a form of exercising and everything else. Tell me, and this is the million-dollar question, tell me what you love and what you hate about it.
Well, as an OTW rower, as a real rower, pardon me, I shouldn't insult the people that just are, they're fine people. Anyway, it's dull.
I'm going to go into that.
It's dull.
What's dull?
Rowing in the erg is dull.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the monitors help, because the monitors give you something to focus on and see what you're doing. But mainly, it's for exercise. I had a new valve and a triple bypass. It's about, what, 32 months, something like that. July of 2003. And so I needed to, I learned in November that I should put in at least 30 minutes a day with my pulse up into the zone. So sometimes I'd do it on the erg, and sometimes I'd do it hiking, because we live, not my daughter, but I live at the base of the Sierra Nevada, the foothills of the Sierra Nevada. It's great hiking trails and all that. And sometimes I'd go into the local fitness center and use the treadmill and do some of the weights and so on. But then I thought, after about 18 months, I went back to the beach sprints just for the heck of it, and my time had been something like 8:50, something like that, and the qualifying time was 8:30. So I went down to Long Beach and turned in an 8:19 something. Surprised the heck out of me, because 30 seconds difference, I didn't expect that, and so I qualified again. And so in the summer, when they started the development squad, I thought, well, gee, if I can do this with just occasional erging, I should try some training. It paid off. It worked.
So what's your training like today?
Well, I started, I was using the development squad training program from the 1st of August on through the European Open, and set the record, the lightweight record, that is, at the European Open. But I was still short of the heavyweight record, so I had the ambition to get the heavyweight and also to be the first octogenarian to get under 8 minutes. And so after Copenhagen, I started in on what they call the Pete plan, kind of a simplified version of the peat plant, and kept at that until the last couple of weeks. And then I was using a program for taper suggested by Zeno Miller of Costa Mesa, and so that's what I did for the last 3 weeks or so, or no, 4 weeks, and it paid off at Long Beach when I managed to fulfill my ambitions. And then, you know, I didn't have that much motivation for this one, but I wanted to have respectable time, and I hoped that it was. I was racing against myself, and I lost. That's what happened. What happened today.
So, you've been in the sport for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And talk to me as if you're trying to convince me as far as the benefits of rowing, or as an exercise tool on an erg. How would you talk to someone new to get them into the sport?
Okay. At Berkeley, we always had an alumni day. It was the interclass race day. And that's when all the old rowers would come around, and our coach had a fantastic record. He had a couple of Olympic gold medal winners, 28, 32, and then again 48. And these guys would come around from those crews, and to me, they were old men, of course, by then. But I said, gee, these guys are all in great shape. And I figured I must be in the right sport to be able to maintain condition for all that time. And so that kind of, you know, made me feel it was the right thing to do. But then after school was over, after I finally graduated with interruptions for the war and working and all that kind of stuff, I didn't know about any clubs anywhere. And so I just wasn't doing any of it. And then 40 years later, when I found out, hey, there's some clubs around here, I'd get back into it again. And to me, at first, the erg was just a chance to keep in condition when I couldn't be out on the water. Because obviously it's more fun, it's nice scenery and all that kind of stuff. And more challenging, obviously. And so the erg was just sort of the exercise thing to do in between. But then when I was successful in that first satellite race, I thought, well, gee, you know, maybe I can do something in this. And so that got me going on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, I understand that your daughter traveled out with you?
No, she lives in Arizona.
Okay.
And so my wife couldn't make it. She had obligations back home. And so my daughter thought, well, she had some available airtime, and so she flew out to join me, and give me encouragement.
So I'm going to put you both on the spot, because I heard a story. If you can jump in there.
Yeah.
Just behind him. Actually, if you can go behind the machine, and just, you're going to need to kneel down.
Sure.
Okay.
Here?
Yep. What do you do for a living?
I'm a physician.
Position.
You get a little bit.
Family practice.
Can you move over? There
Oh,
you go.
there we
There you
go.
go.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, I heard a story that your first time that you were on an erg was in a hotel.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
What was that like?
I didn't really feel like I was working at first when I was on it. So we had an hour in there, and I decided to just row, you know, slowly and steadily, and just see what happened. And somewhere towards the end of the hour, I realized that I could actually make 10K if I just kept pushing. And it took me an hour and 10 minutes, which, you know, isn't a good time, but I never really, I didn't break a sweat till the last 10 minutes when I was really trying. I was never breathing hard. I was never actually maxing my capacity. And the next day I woke up with a stiff neck and a headache, but I went back and worked on it and did another 5,000, 5K, and worked it all loose again, and woke up today feeling just fine.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you usually do?
Well, I haven't been exercising. In fact, I did the weekend warrior thing about 12 days ago and went on a 4-hour horseback ride after not riding for 10 years. Pulled my groin, you know, racked out my whole body. It was in agony for 7 days. And actually, this has helped work me loose. So this has been good. And now I want to get Dad's old rowing machine, because I think this is something I could do without straining myself and, you know, get a pretty good workout.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say to other people that are in the same position as you?
I think it would be a good thing for a lot of people because it won't hurt their knees. You know, this is speaking as a physician. It's really pretty hard to injure yourself on this thing unless you're just crazy. You know, it is a good aerobic workout, and you can push yourself as little or as much as you want to. And if you want to just go real slow, and you know, I could do a long workout like that without really overdoing it, just by not going very fast. And a lot of people overdo it first in other things, and I think it would be harder for them to damage themselves with this.
Well, next year we're going to see you here, right?
Well, now he gives me that machine, I'll see what my times are. I don't want to be embarrassed, but I do have some of his persistence and competitive spirit. So.
Well, it's like your dad said, there's no one to beat but yourself anyway, and
That's
sometimes
true.
you don't do that.
Right.